Hey there, Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directive. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today we're going to talk about that new moon that's happening in your sign of Pisces. That amazing new moon that is happening in your sign of Pisces, and how you can best utilize that energy to really catapult is the word I just heard. Catapult your life forward. And so let's figure out how we can do that together, okay? So while I'm shuffling the cards, because I'm just rolling through these, but I wanted to divide them up a little bit, just because the upload time takes less time. I want to invite you to come over to the Tribe Empowers. It is on Facebook, and the link is below. There we talk about self-empowerment. We work as a community to empower through self-care, self-love. There's stuff on nutrition and exercise. There's stuff I'm working with the cycles and the energy cycles. And right now I'm really kind of focusing on that because I feel it so strongly. And so that's kind of where but on Wednesdays, there is a new video that comes out. And then there's other stuff that happens. I do pull cards in the videos, but they're just general for the energy of this, whatever we're talking about right then. But it's some really good stuff. And so the monthly videos are out. If you haven't seen your Happy Birthday monthly video yet, it is out. So be sure to look for that. And the moon report, weekly moon report, comes out on Thursdays. And I had to put the astrology on their own video to say we're just becoming too cumbersome. But they come out on Thursdays. And if you don't know about that, then maybe you should check and see if you've hit the notification bell, or if you have selected all. There seems to be some kind of an issue with YouTube on people not necessarily being notified. So just double check that. And I am, of course, available for private readings. That information is below. And I also included below, because of this Mercury in retrograde happening in your sign, it's stirring up a lot of stuff for people. And so I included Nancy. She does Reiki. She does it by Skype. And incredibly affordable, but more importantly, incredibly helpful. Good. She's good at what she does. And so that information is below if you'd like to make an appointment with her. And I think that's it on the housekeeping. Let's talk about your new moon. So it's happening at 4 degrees on Sunday at 10:32 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I just realized these videos are coming out after that. But the energy is there, and so use it. It's really strong for the first 72 hours anyway, so find some time, set aside some time to sit down and think about what it is that you want. What is that big pie-in-the-sky dream? That is what new moon in Pisces is about. What do you want? When you were a kid and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, I want to be a ballerina that raises pigs that fly. You know, it was like that really fantastical, whatever. There's nothing that is out of bounds here. So Neptune just expands and expands and expands out. And so the big goals, the big dreams, what would you wish for if there were no boundaries? Because right now there aren't. What you wish for, what you dream for, you can create almost anything right now. You're really well supported by what's going on around this new moon. And so what do you really want to create for yourself? And so on one side, we have in this trine position, this really highly supportive energy of Mars in Capricorn, and Mars in Capricorn at 4 degrees. So it's an exact trine. And Mars in Capricorn says, hey, so, okay, what do you want? What are the next couple of steps? 1, 2, 3 practical focus steps you can take to get you to where you want to go. They're not asking you to have the whole plan and all the details. Just what are the next couple of steps you can take? What should you be doing right now that you can start today to do? And on the other side, at 3 degrees and some change, we have Uranus. And Uranus in Taurus is like the surprise support that comes out of nowhere. Like, be open to the opportunities that show up, the opportunities that Spirit provides. Like, you're like, oh, okay. So being willing to be flexible, to be open to the opportunities, to understand that you are co-creating with Spirit. And so if you tell Spirit what you want and you start moving in that direction, then the next steps, the path will light up before you. opportunities will show up and you'll be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And so that's what this moon is about. And so I really want to encourage you to take advantage of it by writing it down and by taking those first couple of action steps that you're inspired to take. So let's see what you have here. Well, of course you do. You have the Magician. You have the Magician. You have all the tools that you need at your disposal. This is interesting. And I'm actually going to go with it this way. We have the Five of Swords and we have the Four of Swords, but the Five of Swords came in the reverse. And so I think this is a time to stop fighting. To stop fighting and look around at the abilities that you have. So is there something that you want, but you've been saying, oh, I just don't know if I can do that. And here's all the reasons why I can't do it. I'm laughing because I'm Pisces moon and I get that. We're like, oh, and here's the things that wouldn't work about this. No. Instead, put down your swords, stop fighting spirit, and start communicating with spirit through meditation, through that restful time, because you have all the tools that you need at your disposal. And so I've been reading these out of here. That Five of Swords, it was in the reverse, and I really swear that's about laying it down. So I'm not going to bother to read that one. I will read the Four of Swords. And I'm, of course, going to read that Magician one. But the Four of Swords, if I can find it. Here we go. Four of Swords. This card heralds a time of rest after great anxiety and upset. This is this. This is the people have been coming at you. Slander, negative, crappy talk, whatever. They've been coming at you, right? This heralds the time of rest. After great anxiety and upset, there will be a pause before the events move on to something better. You face a period of low physical energy. That's okay. Rest up. Rest up. The moon in Pisces, the sun in Pisces is supposed to feel like a high energy time because it's your solar return, but with Mercury moving in retrograde, it's kind of slowing things down. And so that's okay. Use that time to meditate, to focus on what it is you want, to get ready because you have all the tools that you need at your disposal. And the Magician says you are discovering how to use the laws of magic, faith, and willpower to get what you need and desire. Study and practice in a new career or spiritual path that attracts you. Your thoughts and energies flow in harmony to accomplish what needs to be done. This is an excellent time to gain self-control. So it feels like you come out of some kind of a battle. It feels like words were involved. Which leads to heartache and upset and negative feelings. But this is your chance to regroup in the standstill. We have the standstill here. This card has shown up a lot today. A lot. Like this is like the third or fourth time it's shown up. And standstill is about, nothing's happening right now, but that's okay. It feels that some areas of life has slowed down or even come to a standstill. You are right. Something is not progressing. Even it seems like things are flowing. Look beneath the surface. Perhaps something is immovable. The first step to becoming unstuck is to acknowledge where you are. The soul loves the truth. And in life, if you could say there are no weeds, or you can notice the weeds and begin pulling them out. Notice that what isn't working in your life and then take the steps to unblock the barriers in nature. The best thing to do is slowly and carefully, one step at a time, extricate yourself. And so again, I want to remind you about the Reiki that you could get with Nancy. But look at your life and see where can you start moving the blocks out of the way. And are the blocks your lack of self-confidence? Are the blocks you saying, oh, I can't do this, because you can. You have the Magician card. So you can. And so I feel like very strongly, like the biggest block that's going on here is happening between your ears, right? The part where you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, these are so nice. Okay. Sorry. So you have protection and you have fulfillment. So you are being protected on this journey. You are being protected as you work through the situation. Then you have fulfillment. And I mean, who doesn't, that's beautiful. It's a very ripe looking peach. It would really be wonderful if I could, here we go. The laden peach tree. The peach tree blooms early, and because of this, it is often the symbol of spring and the renewal of life. It is also the Chinese symbol of a happy marriage and the fertility. In some traditions, it stands for immortality, right? Peaches also portend fertility, fiduciary, financial security, and great fulfillment. In Korean tradition, the peach represents happiness, riches, honors, and longevity. In the Renaissance, peaches represented the heart and love and speaking the truth from one's heart, and you are protected through this process. Remember this. So fulfillment is at hand no matter what is occurring in your life. Put your attention on what is splendid, pleasurable, and luscious. Find bliss in the moment, love fully, deeply, without hesitation. Cherish your friendships, fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight. Let go of people and things that do not empower and drag your energy down. You are no longer need to put the needs of others ahead of your own needs. If you had a health issue, the right page represents a return to better health. Savor your life with gusto and with grace. Experience and embrace life in all of its permutations. If you want to conceive a baby or a new project or start a new relationship, this card is an excellent omen for a great outcome, and you are the magician. Do not forget that. And so while things might feel like they got a sluggish start, that it does not mean you shouldn't be writing it down and taking those first couple steps. Okay, and start removing the barriers. And I feel like the biggest barrier you have would be your lack of confidence in the ability to do this. Oh, look at this. New journey. Yeah. You have known of this new venture for some time, and you have prepared well for it. Resonate with your calling and move forward without looking back. Your courage and determination will be celebrated. Go for it, go for it, go for it. And the polar bear, the mystic, know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith that when you face adversity, take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. That is that 5 of swords being reduced back to the 4 of swords. That is the fighting part. Stop the fighting. Let it go. Let it go. If you have something that you were like upset about and you won't let it go and it spins around your head like, right? Let it go. It's not serving you anymore. Give it a rest. Literally, give it a rest and send love and light. So just imagine whatever this negative energy is being... Okay, so what I see is a funnel, and I see all this black negative energy, and the funnel was going down. I was like, where's it going? But then I saw it was going into the earth. And so allow it to just flow like water into the earth and allow Mother Gaia to transmute it. And it turned into, when I saw it down there, it turned into like a river of sparkly diamonds. Allow it to become love and light. Allow it to flow away from you and be transmuted into something beautiful. And you have the moose, wisdom. Ooh. So you're the mystic and you have the wisdom, listening to your intuition, right? Let your head and mind reach to the stars. There are no limits. There are no boundaries. What do you want? Yeah, keep your feet grounded on the earth. You are being supported by those 2 earth energies that are the Capricorn one and the Taurus one. This is beautiful. Listen to the ancient wisdom of your soul. The ancestors speak through you. You know much. You know much, and you know what needs to be done. And look at this. You have the frog prosperity. And the frog is about letting go of the crap that does not help you so that you can go on to be prosperous. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. But they can't if you're carrying the negative energy with you. It slows you. Okay, if you're trying to hop off of that lily pad and you get this big old weight of crap hanging on there, what's going to happen is that it's going to pull you down into the water and you're going to be sinking instead of flying to the new opportunity, to the new lily pad, to the new space where to go. So I can't encourage you enough, Pisces, to take this opportunity. This is your new moon. This is everybody's new moon. This time it feels powerful for everybody, but nobody else got this card. Not yet. I got 2 more water signs to go through and then I'm done. This is the first time I've seen this today. This is, you absolutely have all the tools. Everything you need. You need to let go of the negativity and focus on what you want and stop worrying about the crap that you don't want that's happened in the past, because those were lessons. And the lessons, if you allow them to fall away, become the wisdom that helps you make better choices moving forward. So embrace that. All right, you take care. Hi there, Cancer, Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising. I'm going to get right with you, but I want to write down real quick what time it is so that I know where we're doing this at when I timestamp. So how are you doing? I'm going to talk to you today about this new moon that's happening in Pisces. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Maggie from Moon Directed. And we do work with the energy of the moon here to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And I'm excited about this new moon. It is so supported. It is the opportunity for the big ask to really happen for you. So before I get into that, while I'm putting these cards back together, I want to do a little housekeeping. I want to encourage you to check out the monthly report and the monthly video that has come out. If you have not seen that, it might be that you need to hit the notification bell on the subscription and select all. And also, I moved the astrology part of the monthly videos to their own. It's called the Weekly Moon Report. Those come out on Thursdays. And I know that this video came out on Monday and the new moon happened yesterday. But there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time to do. 72 hours after new moon is super potent. But really, whenever you get to this, do it soon. But this is important that you put the effort into this. And in case you need a little more guidance, I do private readings, and that information is below. And if this Mercury in retrograde is stirring up all that crap again, and you're struggling to release and let go and to bring in the healing, I am putting information below that will link you to Nancy. She does Reiki, and she can help you through via Skype. And she's super affordable, but more importantly, she's super good at what she does. And so this might be an opportunity for you to really release and let go of some stuff that's been hanging around there. The nodes are getting ready to move out of the North Node is getting ready to move out of Cancer. It always moves retrograde, so it's moving into Gemini. We do have one more eclipse happening for you on that axis. There's a eclipse coming up near the solstice that's in Capricorn. So there's one more, but you know, you should be shifting energy. And so if you haven't been able to do that, if it's been a problem and you need a little bit of help, again, the Reiki could be good for that. Talking to me could be good for that. All right, so let's get into what we got going on here. This new moon is happening at 4 degrees of Pisces. And this is significant because in this beautiful supportive trine energy, we have something going on in the earth signs that surround it, which is like taking this energy and so new moon in Pisces is this big dream. What do you want? I want to live in a castle in the air and ride a unicorn. I mean, you can dream like that because it's that kind of expansive energy. If there were no boundaries, no limitations like money, time, energy, you know, whatever, what would you want to have? How would you want your life to look 10 years from now? This is the moon where you set those intentions. So don't miss this opportunity, okay? So write it down. What do you want? And then that over in Capricorn at 4 degrees, so it's exact trine energy there, super supportive, is Mars sitting there in Capricorn saying, okay, but what are the first, second, third things that you could do right now that are super simple? What are just the little baby steps that you could take right now? Write those down, and then you have to do them. You can't just write them down. You actually have to do them, okay? Saturn is ruling the planet this year, and honestly, if we aren't doing the consistent work, we're not getting anywhere. So that's important, okay? But I just thought of something too. That Mars is getting pretty close to that South Node, which is in Capricorn. So for you, that's that final release of really letting go of some crap. So again, being willing to let go of what doesn't work and to set your sights and intention on what you really want to create. Okay. So, action steps. action steps going on over there in Capricorn, and over in Taurus at 3 degrees and some change is Uranus. And Uranus is about sudden changes and opportunities, but in this energy, it's supportive. So that is, maybe you don't know all the steps, and you probably don't, because it's this big pie in the sky dream, right? You don't need to know them, because Uranus will bring them to you. It will bring sudden opportunities, sudden changes. These are very beneficial, and it's grounded energy. It is supportive. This is beautiful energy. So what do you want to create? That's the big question. What do you want? So I can't encourage you enough to put it on paper. When we write, we channel our higher selves. It's also a commitment that we make to ourselves. So write it down. What do you want? Okay. And, sorry, that card, I just needed a little more on that. Write it down. And figure out what your first couple of steps are, and then be willing to take them. So, see what we have here. This card has shown up several times today. Like, this might be the 4th time I've seen the High Priest. And so, I've been reading these out of here, but the High Priest, this is wisdom. This is conventional wisdom, though. This is structured and hierarchical. Abide by the physical and spiritual rules or suffer the consequences. So, structure. Capricorn, Saturn is all about structure. What we are doing is laying a very solid foundation for what we want our next 10 years to look like. So, pie in the sky dream, that's no problem. But then when you start taking the steps, it's very structured. It's very organized. This is going to ask you, this dream is going to require of you consistent, daily showing up for yourself to make the dream happen. Okay? That's the energy that's going to have to come from you. All right. So this is a situation where I require you to make a promise or sign a contract. Read everything carefully, especially the fine print. Be certain that you understand the terms. But I want to say this is a contract with yourself. This is a contract with you. This is your dream. Commit to it for yourself. An inner spiritual teacher makes him or herself known. Dreams and visions and meditation or events in life itself can make you face up to your responsibilities. And I think that's important, but listen to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. I heard someone say, Nicholas Ashbaugh said that he keeps his phone handy, and so when he wakes up in the middle of the night and he has a dream, he records into it so he doesn't have to turn on the light to write it down. And I think that facing up to your responsibilities, part of this is forgiving. Okay? You have to forgive a situation. Yourself, maybe, for not knowing something, someone else because they didn't know something, the evolution of how a situation played out, either from your childhood and oftentimes the stuff in our childhood plays out in our other relationships, and the lessons there, it's repeated and repeated until we learn it, and when we learn it, we're like, oh, I got it. And what part of that, oh, I got it, is I forgive myself for not knowing that. I forgive the people that came into my life to teach me this because I asked them to do this. This was part of our soul contract. I invited them to come into my life to teach me this lesson because I felt that it was important that I learned it. And so now I've learned it, and now I'm grateful. I am grateful for the opportunities to have learned this. I am grateful that they sacrificed this time to teach me this. And you're thinking, they're such jerks, though. How can I do it? They're not jerks. They're divine sparks of God the same as you are. They're playing a role in your life that came here. They agreed to come and help you learn this. So there's where the gratitude comes from. And I know what that sounds like. Been there, done that. And honestly, when you learn to forgive yourself, first of all, for needing the lesson, for not getting it the first time, maybe having repetitive patterns where it got worse. It's sort of like spirit comes along and, they hit you with a fly swatter and you didn't get that. Oh, okay, well, here's the baseball bat. And if that doesn't work, well, okay, so here's the Volkswagen. Oh, you still didn't get it? Okay, here's the Big Mac truck. Don't make us bring the train. So the sooner you learn the lesson, the better, right? It's easier. But sometimes, you know, we're 4, 5, 6 times and then we're like, oh, I get it. I see the pattern. Okay. So these people, these souls came to help you. They're your soulmates. So, you know, love them back from your higher self, because you have a new beginning coming. You have a new beginning coming. Ooh. Okay, I have the chills so much right now. That happens when spirit shows up. Lately, the chills have been a real thing. I'm not even kidding. It helps if you can spell. As the sun sinks behind the horizon and the red and orange turns to the lavenders and the deep purples of the ensuing night, the day is complete. Sunset signifies that a new cycle has begun. So this is the forgiveness card, and then you have the new beginnings. So this is the ending. Allow something to pass away, right? Sunset signifies that a new cycle has begun. As each star emerges into the velvet sky, we entered a realm of darkness and unknown, where the magic and even the mystery of life itself seems to shimmer above us. To be regretting that the day is done is to miss the glory of the starry heaven above. Don't be sad about what is gone, what is past. Allow it to transmute into something that's beautiful in the future. It is human to want to hold on to the past or memories, experiences, and relationships, especially with that Mercury in Pisces. This is really going to stir up stuff for you. However, there are times when we are carrying so much of the past that we can't fully see the present. The past doesn't need to equal the future. Just because you have a pattern or a reoccurring challenge in the past doesn't mean that it needs to reoccur in the future. The key is to be willing and ready to simply and cleanly let go of what holds the past has on you. The past is gone and it is okay to let it go. The way to do this is to fully immerse yourself in the here and now. Be super aware of the sights, the sounds, the smells, the textures, and the energy of your present. When you do this, the past simply vanishes and the glory of the present emerges. So that one was about the sunset, and this one is titled Radiant Sunrise. I can't make this stuff up, and I don't even want to, because this is amazing. Okay, the sun is the most profound symbol of life itself, large enough to fit 1 million Earths inside of it. In ancient cultures, the largest of the rising sun represented the hope and the understanding that life begins again, fresh and new. Responsible for the climate and the weather of the earth, it is the symbol of birth and rebirth. It can also represent the resurrection in a time of profound spiritual awakening. It symbolizes the end of darkness and the beginning of light and the initiation of a whole new cycle. Your life is expanding in profound and wondrous ways. New experiences, ideas are emerging. Vitality and wide open opportunities are at hand. Seize the day. This is the perfect time to begin that new project or give birth to an emerging idea. Timing is everything, and the time is now. Anything and everything is possible. Good fortune awaits you. The rising sun is the ultimate symbol of the Yang principle, expanding power and activity. You are radiant and luminous. There is a glow within you that can be felt by all. Oh, no wonder. Oh my gosh. And you got the sun again. And communications. Communications. This is in your 9th house. This is all happening in your 9th house. Your 9th house is about your communication with spirit. It's about travel, long distance travel. It's about research and higher knowledge and needing more information. And so be proud of what you have achieved through empathy and articulation. Use your powers of communication to win over others. Your voice will be heard because you communicate attention. Apply your creativity to the jobs at hand. You are soaring into a bright future with uplifting opportunities beckoning. You've already accomplished something. You are completing a cycle and moving to the next thing, because that one talked about that, and so is this. Okay? Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. You are limitless. And then the dolphin play. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence. Exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. All right? Beautiful. Good job. All right, so let's see here. We are on, nope, not Pisces. We are on Scorpio. Hey there, Scorpio. How's it going? I have to write down the time so I don't forget later when I'm time stamping. So, I'm Maggie from Moon Directed. If this is the first time at your channel, here we work with the energy of the moon. I think I said yours, but it's my channel. It's our channel. We work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible, and this new moon is not to be missed. This is an important opportunity to really move our lives forward. So this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys had a very, very rough, I did a second video for you. If you are not aware of this, the monthly videos for Pisces are out. I will put them in the description box below, the links for them. They were rough, I'm not going to lie. I had to do a second video because I wanted to get a little more information for you. That is the energy of the month of Pisces that is coming up right now, February 18th through the March 18th. But this video is about the power of this new moon and how you can plant your seeds of intention, because this is important. This is the year 2020 where we set our intentions for what we want to create, the stability and the groundwork, and laying the foundation for what we want to create over the next 10 to 12 years. And so this is different. This is a different reading. It's not about what's going on right now. It's about what you need to do right now in order to move things forward. I do want to remind you that I moved the weekly astrology to the weekly moon report that comes out on Thursdays. You can be looking for that. If you aren't seeing these things, check and see if the notification bell has been, if you hit the notification bell when you subscribed. And did you select all? Because YouTube's kind of messing around with stuff. I want to remind you, I also do private readings. If you would like to connect with me that way, that would be excellent. And if this energy of the Mercury in retrograde in Pisces is stirring up for you the things that I think it's probably stirring up for you. Last year, you guys had a lot of growth and things happening because of all the energy of the retrogrades going through the water signs, and they're doing it again this year. And it should be easier this time. But if you didn't get it, then it's going to be harder. So it depends, I think, a lot on how much work got done last year. And so it's kind of like, like there were a lot of tests last year, but now it's like the end of semester exams where it's the cumulative knowledge and can you handle these things. And so if you could use a little extra help in moving some of the energy through to do some healing, I did include below contact information for Nancy. She does Reiki. She does it via Skype. Very affordable, but more importantly, very helpful. She's really good at what she does. And so I can't encourage you enough to take advantage of that. And when I say affordable, I mean, you'll be like, what? This is unreasonable. It's so easy. So be sure and check that out if that is of interest to you. So let's talk about this moon. This moon is happening at 4 degrees of Pisces. So the really beautiful thing about this is that it is so supported. It's trine energy on one side by what's going on in Capricorn, and on the other side by what's going on in Taurus. So over in Capricorn at 4 degrees, so the exact same degrees, this is an exact trine, we have Mars. I get them. Mars is in Capricorn. Mars says, take some action, right? But it's in Capricorn, and Capricorn's about things being foundational and repetitious and disciplined. And so you are not being asked to know all the steps, just the next 1, 2, or 3 steps. Because that moon in Pisces, that has no boundaries. It has no limits. It's like that big ask. What do you want to be when you grow up energy? It is the, shoot for the stars, and then you can have the next 2 galaxies too, because it is that expansive, expansive, expansive energy, but it is contained and supported very nicely by what's going on in the earth signs. And so what would you want your life to look like 10 years from now if there were no restrictions? No restrictions of time, money, whatever. No restrictions at all. That is what you're being asked to think about. And so write it down. Write it down. I can't stress that enough. Write it down. And then write down the first 1, 2, 3 steps, and then do the steps. Because Saturn is running the planet this year. And Saturn says, no, what have you done for me lately? Like in, today. Like, it is consistent, disciplined action that makes that work. And Saturn's like, you're going to reap what you sow. And if you are not being consistent, if you're not doing the work, then, it's kind of like, again, I'll go back to the school thing. It's like, if you didn't do your homework or you didn't pay attention in class, you showed up sometimes and you weren't really there, and then you go to take the exam and you think you're going to ace it when you haven't done any of the work. That is not how that works, especially not when Saturn's in charge. Okay. Especially not when Saturn's in charge. Oh, it's this one. I knew there was another one. It was like I could feel it, but it was pulled the wrong one. Okay. All right. So. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, consistent, disciplined action. And then, on the other side, you're being supported by Uranus in Taurus. And Uranus in Taurus says, oh, here's the big surprise for you. But because it's a sextile energy, it is supportive. It is a good surprise. It is the help. It is the hand of the divine swooping in to bring you the opportunities to help you find the next steps. To light the path before you if you step out onto it. Okay, so kind of like in the Indiana Jones movie. What is it? Temple of... the Holy Grail, where he has to cross that big chasm, and he's standing up there, and they're like, take a step, out onto the whatever, and he's like, and he throws sand out there. So he's taken an action, he's tossed the sand, and the sand lights up part of it, gives him the next step. He steps out onto it, and the whole bridge lights up, and he knows how to get across, right? So it's that kind of energy. That is what that energy is coming, what you're likely to get from that Uranus is the opportunities that appear out of nowhere that support you and move you further along your path. That's the hand of the divine working with you to co-create what it is that you want. So what do you want? Write it down. Oh my gosh, the high priest, he has shown up, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, I've lost track, showing up all the time, the high priest. And you have the 5 of Cups. I'm not surprised, Scorpio. I did your reading. And so I feel like you guys are dwelling in the negative energies around you, and you have got to release those and let those go. And again, I'm going to recommend that if you're struggling to do that you work with somebody. But the Reiki healing might be a good first step. So, 5 of Cups. You may be hurt from seeing through an illusion. This is a period when you tend to dwell only on the negative events or happenings. This card foretells the possibility of a divorce or the breakup of a marriage or a friendship. You may need to fight against the feeling of depression. And so I think this is showing up today because don't miss this opportunity. Don't think, oh, well, things didn't work out for me before, and I've been working really hard, and it don't seem to get anywhere, and everything seems to go like this. You start dwelling in that energy, and that is what you're creating for yourself, because what is that? That is consistent, regular, disciplined action. When you say, I never have, this is always how it goes, you are creating a mantra that is going to create that for yourself, and so I cannot encourage you enough to walk away from that negative energy, to release that. And so, what has hurt you? So, write it down and set it on fire. And say, I turn this over to Spirit. I release myself from the pain of these experiences. I release myself from this. And then I want you to take those ashes and I want you to work them into a pot with soil in it. And some of you are rolling your eyes to do this anyway. And plant some seeds. And plant seeds like of things that grow easily. because I want you to see how easy it is to nurture and grow something new from the ashes. When I was in, gosh, what was I? I was like 4th grade, 5th grade? I think I was in 5th grade. My mom gave my brother the palms to burn on Palm Sunday, and he kept the matches. And then he was explaining to the neighborhood about how, you know, if you don't have oxygen, a fire can't burn. And that's true. If you don't have oxygen, a fire can't burn. So if you don't give oxygen to these negative feelings, they can't continue to propagate, right? So it was a really windy day. He was demonstrating this. He used a really an old coffee can to snuff it out, but he didn't have a level playing field. And there were all these holes in it, and the wind went through there, and it shot off. And he's like, "Oh, I got this." And he takes his container of water and he pours it on it, but really it was watered down lighter fluid. And now we have this big fire, and it took off, and it burned several acres. But then a few months later, everything was green. It was beautiful. It was that field that never looked that good, because with the ashes came this release of all this carbon back into the soil, and it nurtured it. And then all these grass seeds that were dormant just sprung up, and it was really pretty, and it was really verdant, and it was just gorgeous. And so I'm not saying set your life on fire, but I am saying if your life has been set on fire, don't give it oxygen and feed it and make it a bigger fire by constantly speaking about it and talking about it. When negative things happen to us, a lot of times we self-talk or verbally, actually out loud, we're saying these things, and all it does is it keeps that cycle going, and it doesn't get released, okay? So write it down, burn it, ask Spirit to take the pain away from you and to help you to plant the seeds for a much better future, and then literally put it into a pot and plant, like lima beans or something that springs up quickly so you can see the results of that. And I know how crazy that sounds, and yet I've done it, and it was therapeutic as anything. And so give yourself the gift of releasing. Give yourself the gift of forgiveness of yourself for not knowing what you didn't know that got you in that situation. Give the others the gift of forgiveness because they came to play a role to teach you this lesson that apparently you hadn't figured out yet on your own, or you agreed to come here to do, or whatever. Be grateful for the opportunity to learn, and then release. Okay? All right, let's see what this High Priest has to say. Abide by physical and spiritual rules, or suffer the consequences. A situation may require you to make a promise or sign a contract. Read carefully. I just heard karmic contract. What? Okay, if you have not learned the lesson, it will be brought to you again. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Yes. All right. So you really, if you're coming out of a negative situation, take the time to reflect. That is what that Mercury in retrograde is all about in the water signs this year. Really dive in, go deep, learn what you need to learn so you can set yourself free, so that you can be the phoenix rising from the ashes, which is a representation of Scorpio, right? It is the death and the rebirth. Scorpio represents the death and the rebirth. It is represented by the phoenix rising from the ashes, and there's a reason for this. You have the hardest lessons of any of the signs, and so allow the lesson to burn its way out and dissipate, and then to nurture and nourish you and to take you to the next steps. So an inner spiritual teacher makes him or herself known. Dreams and visions in meditation or events in life make you face up to your responsibility. So you are being asked to really look at what is your part in all of this. Forgive yourself first. When you forgive yourself first, believe me, the rest of it is super easy. I know from experience. So you have inner peace. You have inner peace. You also have miracles and wonders. So when you find that inner peace, I think that's where you get to the miracles and the wonders. That inner peace, that releasing, that letting stuff go, that not dragging it forward any further is where you get to the good stuff. And so lily pond, simply sitting next to a lily pond, watching the dragonflies soar overhead and looking at the luminous lily pads floating gently on the water while their translucent flowers open their petals to the heavens can fill one with the sense of profound and everlasting peace. Lilies grow in many countries and have been given a wide range of meanings. However, one enduring image of the lily is the notion that out of the darkness and the mud arise a thing of immense beauty and grace. No matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise into enlightenment and profound tranquility. Inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. To find this inner peace, simplify your life. Spend time in nature. Listen to the message of your soul. True peace transcends fear and connects you intimately to the Creator. Breathe deeply and fully, knowing that all is well. And then you have the double rainbow of the miracles. After the storm, the rainbow appears. No matter where we are, the instant a rainbow splashes across the sky, we usually stop and stand in awe. Some say the rainbows are messages from the Creator. Others say they are part of the electromagnetic spectrum phenomenon. But no matter what the explanation for their existence, rainbows have struck awe in the hearts and the souls of many throughout time. Many traditions believe that rainbows are blessings from the Creator. A double rainbow is a double blessing. The storms of the past are passing and your dreams are coming true. No matter what has happened in the past, your future holds abounding miracles. Good fortune, celestial beauty, inner divinity are expanding within you. Believe in your life is guided. Trust in the goodness of the universe. A celestial bridge to the heavens is opening for you. Start right. A celestial bridge. Take that first step forward and the path will light up before you. Throw the sand out into the space there. That's the step, and then you'll see where to go. Blessings are flowing in all directions. Believe that you deserve the best because you do. Joy, bounty, blessings, and miracles are flowing your way. And we're going to read the wonders too because I'm excited that you guys are getting good cards after that monthly. You have to let it go. This is a month to really do that. If you can let it go, then you open yourself up to opportunity. Don't let what has happened in the past dictate what you believe your future will be. There are no limits. There are no boundaries. You can create what you want. That is what this new moon is all about. It's so potent. Please, please utilize it to the best of the ability. Quartz crystal, natural rock crystals, clear amethyst, citrine, rose, and smoky were all revered in ancient times. The Aborigines of Australia called it Mabon. Oh, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. Which was the material through which the shamans and the elders gained their magical powers. The Egyptians believed quartz had mystical healing abilities and would bury their dead with a piece of the crystal on their forehead. The Greeks and the Romans believed crystals were solid ice that had been formed by the gods and thus had mystical powers. Even to the present day, people believe that crystals can help manifest their intention. Perhaps that is because of the qualities of the quartz, the reason why quartz can amplify radio signals. There are some places in the world where it is not uncommon to find crystals on the surface of the land. They are especially powerful because they have been found in their natural setting. Just around the corner, exciting possibilities are waiting for you. Wonders will be abounding in your life. Sometimes they won't be apparent at first. Nevertheless, they are there. The more you see them and embrace them, the more possibilities will grow in magnitude. Take that first step and the path will light up before you. Celebrate and cherish even the small ones, no matter how teeny they are. Let go of expectation. Don't limit the way that you think that wondrous events could appear in your life. Be open and believe anything and everything is possible, because it actually is. It actually is. So, oh, look at this. You have the supernatural. You have the dragon. I've never even seen this one. And you have the cougar, assertive. We'll read this one first. I'm laughing because, you know, cougar has another meaning. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. Take action. Do not dwell in the Five of Cups energy. Take action. You have to do something. You really do. You can't be wishing and hoping. You actually have to take steps forward. You have to be willing to leave the hurt behind and allow the healing to happen and move yourself forward, because if you do that, then the doors open before you and all the blessings can flow in, but you're blocking them by holding it shut, by being there in that misery. It's not where you belong. You know where to go and what to do. You know you have the courage and the confidence to succeed. And then you have the dragon supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. You are one of the reasons that Scorpio has so many hard lessons is because you are such an ancient wise soul. You have a lot of traumas to release over lifetimes. And I appreciate so much your courage in coming here as a Scorpio and doing this hard work at this time. It is not easy. It's impressive is what it is. Be impressed with yourself. Okay, so you are the ancient wise soul. You can shape shift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. The phoenix rising from the ashes. Rise with dignity. It is not about how many times you fall down. It is about how many times you get up and start moving forward. And you know that. I know you know that. So now's the time. And you have temptation. And I feel like the temptation for you is to wallow. Don't wallow. Don't wallow. And you might be tempted to go back to a similar situation or to rush into a situation right away so that you feel better, especially if this is about a heartache. And so often we run to the first person that shows up and says, oh, I'm really sorry that happened to you. Let me help you. And then you're like, oh, take care of me, make me feel better, make me feel whole. But they can't, because the only person that can make you feel better, make you feel whole is yourself. And so the temptation would be to fall back into these patterns. Instead, rise. Instead, rise with dignity. Rise with grace. Strike out there on your own and start doing for yourself stuff. I wanted another. Oh, look at this. You got the sun. Nice. If you stand up, if you move forward, then the sun starts shining on you. You are on fire with success through the radiant energy of the sun. Dreams are coming true. Targets are being reached. Innocence is being rewarded. Your children or your creations are soaring into a bright future with uplifting fortunes beckoning. This is where you can be going. You have to stand up and you have to start moving forward. And I know it's not easy, Scorpio, but you chose to come here to do this. You did. You might not remember that you did that. You might be thinking, what was I thinking? But you chose to do this because you have all the tools that you need to do this inside of you. You can do this. Be courageous, be strong, be brave, stand up. Stand up and start moving forward, because you can, and because now is the time. All right, Scorpio, I look forward to connecting with you. You take care, and we'll chat soon. All right.